Hello, wonderful people. I am back with another extended Fashion Art Tells video for you. This one is for more than one muse. This is going to be part one, and this is focused on my skin rendering process. So, how I color my fashion figures, and I hope it's helpful. I try to capture the process from beginning to end. I sped some parts up just for the sake of time. And I hope you get to relax, enjoy. If you find this helpful, like, share, comment, subscribe, and most of all, just relax. Coloring is so therapeutic, whether you're watching it or whether you're actually doing it. This first color that you see me applying is called Suntan. These are my shuttle art markers, which I really do love. These markers are so awesome. They haven't bled through my sketch pad yet. I actually got kind of nervous because I have an upcoming illustration behind this sketch that I'll be coloring, and I kind of just forgot to put something back there. But it's safe and it has no spots on it, so we're good. And now we're gonna go ahead and add the darker shade to begin adding some contrast as well as some highlights. So I'm not gonna put too much work into the alcohol markers for the skin tone. It's really more of a map for me in regards to how where I'm going to be shading with the colored pencil. So also, you guys, if you don't know already, I put out a video recently about trying out the Prismacolor colored pencils, which I'm super excited about. So I'm gonna be more so working with those. And this is more of just kind of like a foundation or a base. For these fine liner ink pens, I am using the three smallest ones in the pack, 0.3, 0.5, and zero point 0.1, I believe. And that's just simply because the features are very small. So my fashion figures have a lot of small detailing that requires me to have usually a pretty small or fine point. And guys, I definitely take my time on this outlining process because one wrong swipe with the pen can literally change everything. I used to be so nervous to do the whole pen part of my process for my sketches because it does definitely take precision. And that is something that only comes with time and practice. It's only going to get as good as how much time you put into it. So, because I'm finally in a place in my life where this is what I do and it's not a hobby, it's not something I just do on the side or when I'm bored, I am growing so much and I'm so happy about it because precision and skill only grows as much as you nurture it. So I just want to say that for anyone who has something that they love doing, even if it is a natural talent or a natural gift, nourish it and nurture it because it really doesn't matter whether it's God given or not. If you don't take care of it, just like a plant or a garden or anything, it withers away. This is a Mono Zero Tombow eraser, and it's basically a super small eraser for fine detailing and just to get in those super small spots like you see me doing here with the eyes, the lips, the nose, and things like that. It's a wonderful investment. And I love these Staedtler felt tip pens. They are zero point 0.3 or 0.3. I don't know, the super small size. But again, these are very fine point, which helps me to do detailing, particularly for the face, but really for anything if you need it. And this is a white charcoal pencil by Color. And I'm just pretty much mapping out where I want the highlights to be. And really, for me, I know there's like a rule to this, whether the light's coming from the left or the right or so on. But I'll be honest, guys, for me, I do what really feels right for me and for my art. So I understand rules, obviously, but I feel like as an artist, do ultimately what you feel is right to do for you with your art. For me, I see light just come in from all angles. So I really just apply it more so by eye. I'm kind of one of those artists that really just kind of sees things. I'm not so much of a in the box type of an artist, even though I understand that and it's helpful. I'm kind of I would say I have both of those parts of me, which is really awesome because they work together. It's like I use the foundation, but I also know how to be bold and just do what I want to do. You need to have that part of you as an artist. I feel like it's what makes art. So the story behind these Prismacolor colored pencils. So I was just on a binge getting art supplies and just excited. And it's not really ever about price for me at this point in my life. It's just about trying different things. It's just fun. So, I look at the higher end brands and the prices are high. And then you see the ones in the middle, and then you see the ones that are like super cheap. But I have found the Color brand to be probably my favorite go-to at this point. Up until, experiencing these, obviously. But it was basically either I had my eyes set on the Color set on Amazon. I saw you get 520 colored pencils, which just for someone like me sounds like a dream. 520 color pencils for $119, guys. So, that's just, I don't know, that says a lot right there. So I had those in my cart, super excited. I was like, I can't wait to get these. And then I go to Michael's and I don't know why, but I just started focusing in on these Prismacolor colored pencils. And then they also had a Faber-Castell set as well, which are pretty much, from what I understand, they're two pretty reputable and good quality brands. So I was like, you know what? I need to just see if it's worth it. I need to see, if maybe there's something that I would love or even really like a lot about these, even though I like the Color. And so I got them. They were $150 for 150. Again, compare that to the 520 for $120 from the Color. So it was a hard decision to make. But nonetheless, I got these, and I have to say, I really, really, really do enjoy them. They are worth the money. They're soft core, and compared to the Color and just some other color pencils that I have, the biggest difference is how smooth and creamy the lead is. So my Color has more of I want to say like a dry feel to it compared to these Prismacolor colored pencils. And honestly, it makes blending and it even makes coloring just so smooth. So smooth. So immediately I noticed the quality. I mean, the lead is so rich, creamy, and smooth. So I definitely don't feel like, I got gypped or, it wasn't worth it. I'm glad that I made the investment so that I could have the experience with them to be able to, kind of have a variety of things to play with. I still like my Color and I'll probably still get different sets. They have a lot of different sets, but I'm definitely going to be adding these Prismacolor colored pencils to my art set. This color is called Clay Rose, and I am just going in, starting from the edges and just kind of working inwards and smoothing everything out, blending it out pretty well. Um, and then once I do that, it's going to kind of be a back and forth thing, but I am going to be adding a deeper color, a more reddish mahogany tone. And again, it's just going to be a back and forth blending it out. This color, Clay Rose, I chose to be what I call my blender. So if I put in a darker color or lighter color or whatever the case may be, we're just going to always come back and seal it all in with this Clay Rose color to smooth it out. And this is the mahogany red color that I'm going to go in to enrich and deepen the skin tone even further. There's mostly brown, so I always like to go in depending on whether it's a darker tone or lighter skin tone person, with a more reddish, pinkish, yellowish, whichever one matches. She's a little more deeper tone, so the red just kind of complements it, in my opinion. So I'm gonna go in not too heavy, but very light-handed. Two hairs and some air, as the famous painter Bob Ross says. So we're gonna go in very light tone with this pencil and just kind of grace it with that reddish deepness. And you'll see me going back and forth between clay rose and mahogany red. Once I get the colors all mixed in and blended to my satisfaction, I'll go in with my fine liner ink pen and I'll just kind of bring it all together. I feel like this gives it a finished look, like it just kind of puts that clean edge on there that you need. So that's why I do this part once I have everything mixed and blended well and not before. And we are just going to brighten up her makeup, her eyeshadow, her lips, her eyelashes. All right, guys, as I am wrapping this up, I just want to say thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and if you are interested in seeing more videos like this, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, be sure that you stay tuned for the part 2 for More Than One Muse. In that video, I'll be coloring her fashion apparel as well as her little furry friends and background props. So don't miss that. All right, guys, thanks again for stopping by. God bless.